What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Kangaroo Black coming back once again to start doing my season previews and game by game predictions. Now, I usually stay within the SEC. Why? Because I love the SEC. I follow the SEC, and my Alabama Crimson Tide plays in the SEC. But I got a couple of teams out the Big 12 I want to talk about, 3 or 4 teams out the ACC, and 3 or 4 teams out the Big 10 that I want to talk about. But today, I'm going to start out in the SEC with the Tennessee Volunteers. And what do I think about Tennessee going into the 2024 season? I think Tennessee is going to have an awesome season. I think they're going to end the season by being a playoff team. That's my opinion. They bringing a lot back. I know they got a first-year starting quarterback in Nico. But if Nico pans out to be the type of quarterback that everybody thinks he's going to be, then the sky's the limit for this Tennessee Volunteers offense. They bringing back Dylan Sampson at the running back position. They bring it back basically the whole entire offensive line. They bringing back Brew McCoy, Squirrel White at the wide receiver position. Now, we'll see if Brew McCoy is the same type of wide receiver that he was before he got injured last season. But if he is, then, like I said, sky's the limit for this offense. Okay, defense, basically they bringing back the whole front seven. Secondary, I think they replaced a couple of pieces. Now, if the secondary can get to where they can complement the front seven, Tennessee could have a top 10 defense because the front seven is awesome. It's just that the secondary is the weak link to the team, in my opinion. Okay, I think Tennessee is going to go back to being that pass-first offense with Nico. I don't believe that they could do that last season with the quarterback they had last season, Joe Milton. Okay, he wasn't as accurate as Hendon Hooker. He wasn't as good at reading defense as Hendon Hooker, or as fast. I'll just say that. Okay, but then again, last season Tennessee had 3 dynamic running backs. So that could be a reason why they wasn't a pass-first offense, but I think it had a lot to do with Joe Milton at quarterback. Hendon Hooker, when he back in 22, a pass-first offense, and that offense was explosive. They had great wide receivers also, just like they bringing back 2 of those wide receivers that was on that team in 2022, as I mentioned, Squirrel White and Brew McCoy. So Tennessee is bringing back a lot, and they got, in my opinion, going to have a better quarterback, okay, so than last season. So let's go ahead and get into this schedule. Now, there's teams on this schedule that don't even need to be talked about because they automatic wins, such as Game 1, August 31st, Neyland Stadium, Chattanooga, automatic win. Game 3, September 14th, Neyland Stadium, Kent State, automatic win. Then you go to week 11, Saturday, November 23rd, UTEP, Neyland Stadium, automatic win. Saturday, November 30th, Vandy. They play in First Bank Stadium, Nashville, on the road, right down the street. That's an automatic win for Tennessee. Well, not right down the street, about 2 hours. You know, so those 4 games, those 4 games are automatic wins. All right. Then you got teams within the SEC that will be an automatic win for Tennessee. That's my opinion. October the 5th, Arkansas. Tennessee is playing on the road in Fayetteville, Arkansas. That's an automatic win for Tennessee, in my opinion, even though it's on the road. Then you got October the 12th, Florida Gators, Neyland Stadium, automatic win for Tennessee. Who else? Kentucky Wildcats, November the 2nd, Neyland Stadium. Tennessee going to beat them. Now, Tennessee only beat Kentucky by 6 points last season. Okay, but that was on the road, just like last season. I believe they lost to Florida in the swamp. So, hey, but I think they automatic wins at home this season. Florida is in disarray. Kentucky just can't compete with these guys. All right, Tennessee got the better athletes than Kentucky, in my opinion. Okay, so hey, It is what it is. Saturday, November the 9th, Mississippi State Bulldogs, Neyland Stadium. Automatic win. I mean, you look at Tennessee's schedule. They got one. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 games in Neyland Stadium, I believe. So most of their games is at home. All right. So what teams are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about NC State, Oklahoma, Alabama, and Georgia. Those are the only games on Tennessee's schedule worth talking about, in my opinion. The rest of them are wins. So already, Tennessee got 8 wins on their schedule, in my opinion. Okay. Others might think different. But hey, it's opinion based. But anyway, let's talk about North Carolina State. North Carolina State, they had a pretty good season last year. I believe they finished 9-4. But this season, they got a transfer quarterback, a grad transfer quarterback from Coastal Carolina, Grayson McCall. Now, Grayson McCall, he's going into his 6th year. All right. I mean, damn. But anyway, the past 4 years with Coastal Carolina, he's been their starter. I mean, he got a 39-12 record. Not too bad. His first 2 seasons, he led Coastal Carolina to 11 wins. Third season, 9 wins. And his 4th season, last season, they went 8-5. Okay, so he's a pretty experienced quarterback. But in my opinion, I think Nico in his first season probably will be better than this guy. That's just my opinion. This guy has not thrown over 3,000 yards in a season. So, and he's going into his 6th year. So I think Nico, even though it's early in the season, will be the better quarterback in this game. That's just me. But now that's if Nico is the type of quarterback that a lot of us think he's going to be. But that's just my opinion. Again, just like Tennessee, NC State is bringing back a lot. They bringing back all ACC wide receiver Kevin Conception. They bringing back all 5 offensive linemen. So yeah, just like Tennessee, they bringing back a lot. They also got bringing back a running back, Kendrick Raphael. So hey, he's young though, but they bringing back a lot on offense. On defense, they bringing back basically they whole defensive line. So it might be a war, but hey, I think Tennessee gonna win this game. But anyway, again, North Carolina State, they got a lot out the transfer portal, and I think they got a lot of these guys out the transfer portal for depth. They got a wide receiver from Wake Forest. They got a receiver from Ohio State, center from Notre Dame. I mean, a running back from Duke. So they got a lot in the transfer portal. But like I say, I think it was mostly for depth. They got a lot of guys out the transfer portal on the defensive side of the ball. Safety from Ohio State, safety from Auburn, but they bringing back all ACC corner Aiden White. But I think Tennessee got the better athletes. I really do. Tennessee is in the SEC, and you know the SEC get the most talented athletes. But you guess what? You can't win on talent alone. And I think Josh Heupel is the best coach in between the 2 coaches. So hey, I got Tennessee winning this game. All right, they playing in Charlotte, a neutral site, but it's right around the corner for North Carolina State, about 2 hours away from Raleigh to Charlotte, about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So it's more of I'm gonna say a home game for North Carolina State and a road game for Tennessee, even though it's on a neutral site. But I got Tennessee winning this game. All right, let's talk about Oklahoma. Brent Venables, Tennessee, Oklahoma, September 21st. They got to go to Norman, Oklahoma. All right, so it's a road game. Not Tennessee, but Oklahoma. They breaking in a new quarterback, Jackson McCall. All right. I believe he's going into his second year of sophomore. He played in 7 games last season. Threw for 500 something yards, but I think that those yards came when the game was well in hand. I think he threw 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's not too good. Again, I think Tennessee will have the better quarterback. Okay, Oklahoma. I think they lost their best guy on the offensive side of the ball, which was the quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, who transferred to Oregon. Okay, so this guy, Jackson Arnold, I think he's both quarterbacks is lacking experience. But Nico done played in games that actually mattered, like he played in a bowl game or whatever. So hey, I believe he played in the bowl game last year. He won that game. All right. He looked pretty good in the spring game. Went 7 for 7. Ended up going 7 for 9. So yeah, Oklahoma. Brent Venables. He's a defensive guy. I think Oklahoma's defense will be pretty good. Will it be good enough to stop this offense of Tennessee's Josh Heupel? I don't think so, especially if Tennessee go back to that fast pass first offense. It'll be hard for Oklahoma's defensive front to get to Nico. Plus, Nico can run too. So yeah, Oklahoma's offense, will it be as explosive as Tennessee's? No, I don't think so. I think Oklahoma is going to be a run-first offense. And I think with Tennessee's front 7, it might be pretty hard to break off big runs. Now, if Oklahoma come out in this game and start lighting it up through the air, then Oklahoma may just pull off the win. But when it's all said and done, in my opinion, I think Tennessee beat Oklahoma. I think it'll be close. But I think defensively, Tennessee probably will get more stops than Oklahoma's defense. That's my opinion, even though I'm concerned about Tennessee's secondary. All right. But yeah, that's my prediction. All right, moving on to my Alabama Crimson Tide. October 9th, my Alabama Crimson Tide got to go to Neyland Stadium. You know what happened the last time Alabama rolled into Neyland Stadium. Okay. Alabama came out with a close loss. So could that happen this time? It could. Okay. I gave Tennessee a lot of praise so far. All right. And I'm standing on that. Nico, like I continue to say, if he's the type of quarterback that everybody, including me, think he can be, the sky's the limit for Tennessee. Okay. As far as the run game, can Tennessee expose Alabama's front 7? I'm telling you, if Alabama defense looked like it did in the spring game, I don't take too much away from the spring game then. But if it looked that way, yeah, Tennessee can expose it. But like I said, Tennessee is going to be a pass-first offense. I know Nick Saban is not there anymore. Kalen DeBoer is in now with a whole new staff. All right. We lost some players via the transfer portal, namely Caleb Downs on the defensive side of the ball, Isaiah Bond on the offensive side of the ball. So could that affect Alabama? Yes, it could. But like Tennessee, Alabama will have a lot of football under their belt by the time the third Saturday in October get here. Okay, I know Alabama is on the road, and I know Tennessee is coming into this game with a lot of hype, a lot of confidence, and they should come into this game with a lot of confidence because it's in Neyland Stadium. Okay, even in Bryant-Denny last year, Tennessee had Alabama on the ropes in the first half. They went out ahead, I believe, 13-0 in the first half in Bryant-Denny Stadium. Okay, so you can't take nothing away from Tennessee. And I'm just trying to give y'all an honest assessment. But talking about my Alabama Crimson Tide, I think we're going to have the better run game. I think our wide receivers might just be a little bit better than Tennessee's, even though it's unproven at this time. Okay, at this time, how good Alabama wide receivers are going to be is unproven. All right, we know we got Colbert Prentice coming back and Kendrick Law. That done been there going into their third season, I believe, and Jeremy Bernard and all that. But we know what Brew McCoy is. We know what Squirrel White is. Okay, so we know they are proven. All right, we got a young wide receiver core for as far as experience. Okay, the defensive side of the ball, our secondary is a concern right now because they're not proven. We got a couple of transfers. We got some young faces. We got a couple of guys that came back. Okay, so, but all in all, when all is said and done, even though it's in Neyland Stadium, I got to roll with my Alabama Crimson Tide. I have to. And, you know, I can go back and say, hey, Alabama, it ain't no problem to win in Neyland Stadium, which it hasn't been, but that was under Nick Saban. Can Kalen DeBoer continue the trend? And I think he can, because Kalen DeBoer is nothing but a winner. And I think both of these offenses is going to, both of these offenses, this is going to be is it going to be a high scoring game? I think I don't want to give like 30s, 40s, not right now. It's too early. We got to watch these teams and see what they all about. But I'm giving my Alabama Crimson Tide the win in Neyland Stadium. I have no other choice. I think Alabama, flat out, going to be the better team. That's what I think. So, hey, it is what it is. Can Nico outplay Jalen Miro? Maybe. But I think for talent for talent, man for man, Alabama got the best roster. That's my opinion. But let's move on. Okay, that was October the 3rd, Saturday in October. Then next, let's talk about November 16th. Georgia Bulldogs. Tennessee goes on the road to Athens, playing in Sanford Stadium. They rolled into Sanford Stadium back in 2022, coming off a win against Alabama. They was confident and rolled into Athens, got beat. Okay, so will it happen this time? Don't know. But at that time, 2022, when did Tennessee roll into? I think it was 2022 when they beat Alabama. Yeah, they rolled into Athens, but Athens, the Georgia Bulldogs had Stetson Bennett and not Carson Beck. All right, so hey, we'll see what happens this season, November 16th. Now, I said all I can say about the Tennessee Volunteers. I done gave them a lot of credit. So let's talk about these Georgia Bulldogs coming in with Carson Beck and Mike Bobo as their coordinator. They got transfer running back from Florida, Trevor Etienne. You know, what else they got? They got them Robinson boys. At wide receiver, they still got Ra Thomas and Dominique Levitt. And they added Miami wide receiver, Kobe. Shit, I forget his last name. But anyway, they added him, and they added a wide receiver from Vanderbilt. Okay, as far as offensive line, they usually pretty good. Well, they have one of the best offensive lines in the nation, where they were supposed to have it last season, but it wasn't as good as previous offensive line. That's just my opinion. Just like the defense, one is good as the 2022 defense, 2021 defense. But they are, on defense, bringing back Malachi Starks. That's a key piece in that secondary. One of the best safeties in all of college football. They got a safety from Alabama, who I think he might wind up being the starter for those Georgia Bulldogs. So, what's his name? Jake Pope. Yeah, he might wind up being a starter for those Bulldogs. Far as their corners, I think Georgia got some pretty good corners. You know, I haven't followed them this off season, not like I usually do, but I think it's a Kirby defense. It ain't gonna be no lay down defense. I'm gonna just tell you that. But just like Tennessee, I think Georgia's secondary is the weak link. I think they front seven is going to do great things for them. I think the offense is going to do great things for them. But like I said about Tennessee, if the secondary can complement the front seven, Georgia could have a top 5 defense with the type of athletes they got. I think Georgia got the best roster, all right, than Tennessee. I think Georgia got more talent than Tennessee. I think Georgia got the better coaching staff. I think all around everything is better at Georgia. Now, the weak link, this is my opinion. The weak link that could cost Georgia this game is quarterback play. I understand that Carson Beck is more experienced than Nico. I understand all of that. But I think Nico, from what I've seen, is more accurate than Carson Beck. That's just my opinion. Everybody say want Carson Beck to be this Heisman Trophy candidate. Well, it takes more than Carson Beck to make him a Heisman Trophy candidate. You got to have the pieces around you. I know he threw for 3,900 yards last season. I know that. But the receivers that he have is not these worldly wide receivers that can make Carson Beck look better than what he is. Like I said, Carson Beck is the master of 10 to 15 yard slants, swing passes, and tunnel screens. And the wide receiver, tight end, whatever, they do the rest. That's where a lot of Carson Beck yards come from. Run after the catch or yards after the catch. That's where a lot of his receiving yards, not receiving, but passing yards come from. You can dispute me if you want to, but it's fact. But Carson Beck got better talent around him, I think, than Nico. But we'll find out. Okay? So, it is what it is. Now, if Tennessee can pull this game off, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. And as a matter of fact, I hope they do. But I got to pick the Georgia Bulldogs to win this game. Just going off pure talent, the coaching staff. My thing is, if Georgia lose this game, it's going to be on the offense. Well, I can't even say that. Because Nico can light this secondary up, I believe. But the offensive side of the ball, you got Mike Bobo calling plays. Mike Bobo ain't this season is not calling plays against Ball State and Tennessee Martin and UAB and those type teams, South Carolina. He calling games against some real opponents, some real defenses. So they're gonna Kirby Smart, Mike Bobo, they're gonna make they money this year. But I think they're gonna beat the Tennessee Volunteers. And it's going to be closer than what it has been in the past years, my opinion. So with that, I got Tennessee going 10-2 in the regular season, and Tennessee will be a playoff team. I have no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I think Tennessee at this point is underrated. They got Tennessee at what? At number 15, I believe. I think Tennessee is vastly underrated. And I think they're going to prove that coming into this season, they should have been ranked higher. That's just me. But I'm going to end this video with that. So Tennessee, I got you going 10-2 and going to the playoffs for the 2024 season. So y'all be blessed. I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide, and roll damn Tide.